If Bitcoin is going to create a long-term bull market, if we are going to create a larger scale parabolic move, what we need to see is volume levels exceeding previous levels. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Kevin Svenson here. So if you guys have been watching the channel for the past month, things have been playing out pretty much as we've been expecting. We got the blow off top we were looking for, we got the dead cat bounce we were looking for, and now we actually broke below the parabolic trajectory in a similar way that we were looking for. If you look at Litecoin as a bit of a leading indicator in this market, we were looking at Litecoin as a sort of a precursor to Bitcoin's breakdown, and we did get that breakdown. We are now trading below the parabolic support zone. We have lower lows here. We bounced off of 9,100 and got some rejection off of the parabolic support zone that we have mapped out here. And now we're pulling back once again, testing below the $10,000 range right now. So in the short term, if Bitcoin does pull back to the $9,000 range and we do get good support and form a bit of a double bottom formation, and we are able to break above our most consistent resistance point right here, that could be setting us up for a move towards the $12,000 level to test the downward sloping resistance. So if Bitcoin does continue to sell off from here and we aren't able to find significant support at 9,000, I think a test to the golden retrace does become increasingly more likely. So if you guys have been watching this channel for the past month or so, we've been looking for a pullback to the golden retrace at about $7,500. It looks like right now we are on track to do something like that. So if we take a look at this parabolic run, at this stage right here, we had higher lows. At this stage right here, we had horizontal lows. And now at this stage right here, we have lower lows. So it is looking increasingly more likely that we are going to pull back to about $7,500 at the golden retrace, or at least close to it, for a parabolic reset. Now, one thing we need to look out for right now, if this is going to be a true bull run, if Bitcoin is entering a true bull market, one thing we need to look out for right now is volume levels that exceed previous levels. This is what we need to look out for right now. A good example is the bull market in 2016, 2017. So taking a look at the previous bull market here in 2016, 2017, on each one of these parabolic lows, on each one of these parabolic advances, the volume levels began to precede previous levels. So if Bitcoin is going to create a larger scale parabolic move, what we need to see right now is a parabolic low with volume levels that are exceeding previous levels. If Bitcoin is going to create a long-term bull market, if we are going to create a larger scale parabolic move, what we need to see is volume levels exceeding previous levels. If we get something like this, then it's extremely likely that Bitcoin is creating a longer term, larger scale parabolic move. If Bitcoin was going to enter a bull market, it would most likely end up looking something like this. Now, one thing we have to keep in mind is that the previous bull market started off a lot slower. This is what I personally call the discovery phase for Bitcoin. This is when Bitcoin is basically discovered by a large portion of the population. And this is what I actually consider to be mass adoption for Bitcoin. And right now, Bitcoin is seeing a different type of move. It has a lot more velocity to it. The volume seems to be a lot more concentrated in this area. There is actually a potential right now that Bitcoin could be ending a market cycle. If you look at my last video called Bitcoin Bull Market or Bear Market, we talk about this, the potential for Bitcoin possibly entering another bear market, sort of on a smaller scale, possibly finding, I personally don't think Bitcoin's going to hit lower lows. I personally think that if we were going to enter a bear market, we would likely find support just above our previous lows of the previous bear market, and Bitcoin would kind of enter a phase of being like a trader's market rather than a hodler's market. But one way we could know that if that is, that actually has a stronger potential is if Bitcoin does see horizontal lows at the 618 fib retracement. If we start seeing horizontal lows, then I would say likely we're in for an even stronger correction to possibly back to $5,000, and then Bitcoin would sort of be entering what I would call a trader's market, and maybe just a longer term accumulation phase before the actual next bull market. So far, Bitcoin has been on a long term growth pattern, and of course, most people are expecting that growth pattern to continue on into the future, which is possible, but we have to consider that, now that Bitcoin in the crypto market has more exposure, that it's possible that this market might start behaving differently. So we have to consider that potential. But anyway, guys, what I'm looking for now is volume levels that exceed previous levels off of the next low. So if we do get volume levels that exceed previous levels off of the next low, then I would say that we are due for at least one more parabolic advance. And then when we get to the next low, if we have volume levels that exceed previous levels again, then I would say we're due for at least another advance. And that's how I'm going to treat this market right now. That's about it for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, definitely hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video.